is working. We are talking today about how to make changes. And changes can be done. You can't change your life, but you can change yourself. Um, and I'm going to start with telling you how my life had changed. I went from working full time to not able to work and staring at a wall. Um, I had had issues with friends of mine who had been on antidepressants. They've been on drugs for being fatigued. And I lost all my friends that were on antidepressants to suicide. Um, when I went to a doctor for being depressed, I had a doctor telling me, "You're not depressed because if you were depressed, you wouldn't be able to pick up your child." I would soon later discover that the reason I could pick up my child and have energy when I was with him, he was 2 at the time, maybe 3. I found that the only reason I had energy with him is because I felt safe. Now, I know a lot of moms, dads may not have energy, they're depressed, they're in pain, and they have these little infants, these small young children. Um, that's okay. There's still hope for you. So for me, that was the only way I could feel safe. With other people not feeling well, a lot of it has to come from you. So the way I got out of the funk that I was in, since the doctor said I was not depressed, staring at a wall, staring at ceilings, watching repeats, but I'm not really there. I'm just numb. Um, I would drink alcohol, I would do drugs, I would do speed and go right back to bed. Nothing gave me energy, nothing made me feel better. I started reading Louise Hayes and started learning about reprogramming and healing your mind. So, a lot of us, the reason we sabotage, the reason why we have addictions is because our inner child is feeling horrible. Knowledge, eat knowledge. Hi. And this is 5 years ago, mind you. So something triggered me. For me, something triggered me. I always had problems with my health. I always felt kind of numb to the world. I felt that I shouldn't be here. I'm on the wrong planet. And later I'd find out that I am on on the right planet. I need to help people. And that's where I am today. So it's taken me a long time to realize this, but I'm happier, healthier than I've ever been in my entire life. I don't think I was ever happy. I was just numb to life in general. I didn't understand. Things seemed to be easy, but not fun. So, one of the things I started doing was doing the affirmations, feeling the love. And so we're taught as young children to love people, always compliment people. I could not take compliments till about 2 years ago. Now I say thank you, but when somebody compliments you, do you get all giggly and like, oh, that no, no. Somebody says, oh, your hair looks great. Oh, you know what? I'm having a bad hair day, or it's not the way it's supposed to look. Instead of just saying thank you, or somebody compliments you on, wow, you did a great job, but you inside says, I could have done better. I should have done better. I should have done this, this, this. When I did my first video about 2 months ago, it's my first video on how to heal. Um, and I'm a healing, I'm an energy person and a Reiki healer, and I teach and coach people how to heal themselves. When I did this interview, it was an hour. And you know what happened is everybody told me I did a great job. Do you know what I said to myself? Not to them. Oh, there's so many things I should have said and done, but I didn't do it. Well, I'm going to teach you how to start talking to yourself, reprogram yourself, how to feel better, how to have more energy, because this is the way I had to do it. And with all the doctors that I went to, not one of them gave me more energy. All of them told me I was old. I'm 55 years old. So you can have energy. It's those harsh, crucial criticisms that you say to yourself. There's 3,000 thoughts a day, maybe like 5 or 6, depending on who you are. I laid around a lot and didn't think of a whole lot of anything. So, a lot of us that are busy, workaholics is another one. Somewhere along the line, you learned that being a workaholic is good from maybe your dad or your mom, your parents, and you felt that's what you're supposed to be doing. And you stopped having fun. So I know what that is. I've been a workaholic, but I don't have enough energy to be a workaholic because I'm unmotivated. Now I've changed. So I'm going to read this to you. This is where I started when I wasn't feeling good about myself. If you can go to a mirror or look in your cell phone and say, I love you. You are amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you for the lessons learned. To yourself while you're looking in the cell phone or in the mirror, then you've got it made because that means you can talk to yourself. One of the things that slows us down is it's our inner child. So I'll use diet also. Diet, appreciating ourselves, where we want to be with our health, with our job. A lot of times in our job, we use excuses why we can't get a better job. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We didn't go to school. Well, you know what? I didn't go to school. When I was 19, I had people working for me. And I got lucky that way. I don't know how that happened. I always thank my mom. My mom says, I don't know how you do that. I worked, she worked as a secretary, one of those, I don't know the nicer word to say, secretary. I know they don't like secretary. And she retired. She saved every penny she earned and retired at 48. So, so sometimes uh, when you don't go to school, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're not smart. You probably learn a different way. Um, so I'm going to read this to you. And if you want this, these are love affirmations of what I first started to learn how to love and appreciate and start changing my energy. When I started reading these love affirmations, within 5 to 7 days, my life started changing. Now, I need to warn you because this happened to me. When you start loving yourself, loving the world, loving everybody, loving your family, friends, strangers, there's something that starts happening to the universe. The universe starts giving you what you want. I was terrified when people started talking to me on the street. You ever see those people that are on the street and they talk to other people? They start carrying on a conversation. Sometimes I talk a little too much when I'm out there talking to people. But when I started talking to people out because they came up to me and started talking, um, I was a little uncomfortable because I was unprepared. But when you start loving and appreciating you and the outside world, people start noticing you. I was invisible. I swear to God, nobody saw me. Nobody knew who I was. And I got scared when people started noticing me. So if you are used to being a homebody and you don't like people looking at you, you need to start working on yourself first. Um, it took me a good year to start allowing people and being comfortable with people talking to me. So if I was drinking, I could be talking to people all day long. But being sober, um, no, it wasn't good. So if you want this sent to you, you need to email me. I'm going to send this to you. These are affirmations that first got me started. And I'm going to be doing healings on here. So you want to subscribe to me. Um, Healings to help open you up to learn how to appreciate and love yourself. So when I talk and look at myself, I can visualize myself. I don't even need to look at myself. Then I start looking at all my flaws, anyways. And there are no flaws, right? So when you start saying, you start nitpicking what you look like and how your hair's not in the right place, you didn't do your makeup wrong or right. Um, and I do mix my words and I don't care. I'm speaking and I'm learning how to be a better speaker. But when you start picking on yourself, There's a better way of talking and programming yourself instead of going, oh God, I did my makeup wrong. Just say, you know what? I'm going to do my makeup better when I get off this camera. Or when you say you're not smart enough, what can I do to be smarter? There's so many ways of learning and educating ourselves off Google, listening to these videos, being here, subscribe. Okay. So here's my email address. Oh wait, wrong one. So I don't know how to, oh, you know what? I can do it right here, I think. I'm gonna send you my email address. Heal, and I'll do this again too, in case you change your mind, you still want to email me. Oops. Heal to change. Okay, so there's my email address. I'm Julie Hiskett. I'm with Heal to Change. And I'm gonna read this to you. If you just can listen and soak this information in. Um, Again, I read this for a week straight, twice a day, and I started feeling different. Um, I know how to do it a lot faster now because there's certain words, keys to make me move and stride better. And I also started doing inner child work. But this is a good way to get started. You want to read this every day. So I'm going to read this to you. This is all about learning and talking to yourself, loving and appreciating yourself. I love myself. It is fun to love myself. Loving myself makes me feel good. I respect myself. People respect me. I'm going to tell you, when you say people respect you, they will start respecting you. So, okay, I respect other people. Other people respect me. I love my family. I love people. People love me. I really love myself. I am so lovable. I'm filled with joy. There is so much joy in my life. I awaken each day with joy. I am happy. I easily solve any problems. I can handle anything that comes my way. I know what to do. I'm willing to grow and change. I leave the past behind me. I bless the past with love and let it go. It is easy to forgive. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I, f- I am free. I see only the good ahead of me. I feel I'm on top of the world. I am healthy. I am strong. I am happy. I am energetic. I am abundance of energy. Energy makes me happy. I am abundance of energy and have energy every day. I am thankful for my energy. I remove my pain and let it go. I trust the universe. I am grateful at the end of the day. I am grateful every day. I bless the past with love and let it go. I am thankful every day and thank you for a great day. So if you want, I can send that to you. There's my email. That is from Louise Hayes. And later I have, and through my Facebook group, I have changed so it's more focused on what I'm looking for. So what I do is I say, and I talk to my inner child and I talk to my subconscious because me, I'm ready to heal and be happy and love life. But my subconscious and my inner child block it. If you can't seem to move forward and you can't, but you can look in the mirror and do those affirmations, you're probably blocked by your inner child and your subconscious. Somewhere along the lines, that little boy or little girl says, you don't want to go to school. You don't want to get a better job. You don't want a healthy relationship. You don't want to feel better. You don't want to lose weight or gain weight. You like shopping, but really it's a shopping addiction. You love to do drugs. And today is the day to make those changes because loving and falling in love with you That inner child, your subconscious, is where it all starts. That inner child somewhere blocked you from having the life that you deserve. I I know because I've gone through all this. Why do I go back into my past? Because I had unhealthy relationships. I needed to mend what was keeping me from moving forward. Um, why my job? I want to make more money. Do you know, as a massage therapist, I never thought that I could make more than 150,000 a year. How am I going to make millions of dollars? Well, to make millions of dollars, you have to work smarter. I worked physically hard and it was fun, but I could only work so many hours before I lost all my energy. Well, what I learned is with my job, I could have wrote books. And although we might say, I'm not smart enough to write a book, you write down what you want to do and you hire people to do that. Uh, so maybe you're in the industry where you don't make that much money and you don't have any more hours because you have kids and you can't get a better job. Start focusing on what can I do to get a better job? Instead of focusing on, oh, I hate my job. Hate is the one word that keeps you from moving forward. You got to love everything. You got to love your job. And your subconscious and your inner child know that you're not serious when you say, oh, I love my job. I really love my job. But you don't love it. You got to look at how to love that job. You're thankful you get a paycheck. You got to be thankful. You got to be thankful. And and if you're at a job where you're not making that much money, this is where it gets tricky. You got to figure out, did that inner child block you from moving forward? Did that inner child think you didn't go to school or you didn't get a good job because somewhere along those lines your parents said you'll never have a good job if you don't go to school? So you can block yourself and believe as an inner child. Your inner child's like, oh, mom and dad said I'd never make millions of dollars unless I went to school. And I didn't go to school, and here I am not making money. Okay. So did they do that? Or did you see them working themselves to death and never spending time with you? And you didn't want to do that with your own children. That was my issue. I used to make a lot of money. And all of a sudden, when I had a child, my money got blocked. It wasn't coming in. I didn't have energy. It wasn't that I didn't have work, I didn't have the energy to go to work. And it was when my child says, Mommy, do you like money more than me? You're always working, you're always going to work. And when I'd go pick him up from daycare, he couldn't, he's the one that he said this to me when he was like 4 years old, I think. Mommy, you always take me to daycare. And really, I was taking the daycare and I was going back to bed because I had no energy. But in my head, as a child, my inner child said, I will never get a job. I want to be a stay at home mom. Hi there, look good. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, VM. My inner child saw my mom going to work every day and never spending time with me, and then she'd go to school. I did not want to be that mother. So you know what? I blocked myself and I didn't have energy and I couldn't work. So when my son said, is money more important to you than me? I said, no, money is what brings, feeds us, a room over us, a room, a head, a house, a roof. There we go. Sometimes those words just don't pop up as quickly as I'd like. But this is why we need to work to have a roof over our head and to be able to go do fun events. But that wasn't the end of that. I still had to go into my inner child and remove those inner blocks and tell that inner child that it's okay. It's okay to make money and be a parent. It's okay to work and be a parent. It's all uh there's good and there's bad. I don't have to work full time. I want to be able to have energy to be with my child because I do homeschool also. So I had to go through a lot of inner child work to tell her it's okay to work. because there's daycare. I almost think daycare is more fun because they get to be with kids and do events and arts and crafts, depending on which daycare it is. So that's the inner child blocking. Now, the other part of the inner child is okay, my aches and pains. If you have aches and pains, you're stored. Do you know that you've stored everything in your body like a computer since the day you were conceived? You chose the life you wanted, right? But somehow, somewhere, you don't feel well. And it's a lot of that harsh, crucial criticism you put on yourself. All those thoughts you need to reprogram and start saying, it's okay. It's okay if I don't work hard. So you got to tell yourself if you're a workaholic. Now, if you're not working hard and you don't have energy, you got to tell yourself it's okay to be healthy because health has to do with fatigue. If you're not energetic, you're not motivated, something's blocking you. That could be the inner child. Removing that inner child and talking to her. I'm going to talk more about this later because I'm going to do a healing with you. You want to subscribe to me. I'm going to do a healing where we talk and have our inner child sitting in front of us. And we're going to tell them that we love them and they're appreciated. Because it's not until I sat there with my inner child and said, I love you. I appreciate you. You're talking to yourself and you are the one that's keeping you from moving forward. It's the truth. And I'm sorry to say, nothing is going to change until the way you feel about yourself. I've had to go through it and I laughed and I still did it, but I'd look in the mirror and I coach people. Now, you may not be able to start saying, I bet you well how about you may not be able to let me think about this. Yes, he's motivated, definitely. But he also is the one that shares with me what is going on with me. Because when I say I can't do something, he definitely will tell me, and thanks be him. He will definitely say, Mom, you can do it. So I'm always cheering him on and always saying, let's do this, because homeschool. I am not smarter than a second grader. He is, I mean, he knows how to work the electronics. I didn't even know how to turn off his tablet. But he does say, it's little things. I swear to God, he is an angel that's come to me to help because he helps me identify what my issues are in order to help you. So when he was telling me, we wrote something, no, we read something about health and depression. He has these little summaries that he has to read and answer the questions. It was the one that I could get 100% on because I know about depression. He read about depression and I listened and he told me this is him. This is a while back. And when we read the story and he told me this is him, um, he does not feel good about himself. And what it does is when he says things, he's a spitting image of me. He's a mirror of me because everything that he's going through, I already went through. I'll give you an example. Me and his dad both lost our parents at 3. He lost his dad at 3. Um, all of us have had an issue with molestation. So I don't know if you know that, but uh, so I've had to work on healing us. And through my healings, learning about him, I've learned to heal myself. He says he's not good enough. He doesn't feel good enough. I'm constantly telling him, you are a good person and you are good enough. And the one thing that triggers me is that's exactly how I feel. And so when I work on myself, so I now feel good enough. Do you know that when I worked on myself, and if you have children, children work off your energy. If you don't feel happy with yourself, they're not going to feel happy. I know because every time I work on something on myself, when I feel good enough, he now does homework without feeling like a failure. And it's kind of weird, but I would have never known that. So when you're having a bad day, You got to breathe and you got to say, it's still a good day. And walk in the house before you enter with those kids. When you walk in, I don't even know if I said that right. Before you enter a house with your children, you want to clear your mind and say, what will it take to be a better day? What will it take to be a better day? And those children to me should be the first thing that make you feel better, but I know that doesn't work with everyone. um, I only have one and he's perfect and I can say that, but he's the greatest joy in my life. So I don't have anything that keeps me from loving him and being, I, you know what, that's not true, because when we do homework, I feel stupid. I feel like I used to feel like a failure, and I had to clear that in order to be able to do his homework with him. So yeah, so I did kind of lose it because I felt stupid. And then I reminded myself that that was my mom. So I usually had to take a deep breath and say, I can do this. And I have to also think, who am I being when I am being horrible to myself? That's my inner child, or that's my mom when I get angry, because I'm not really an angry person. So, anyways, hope that makes sense to you. Does anybody have any questions? So, my son is motivated, but he still has issues because he's related to me and I'm still healing myself. So as I get better and heal myself, he actually improves. So he's been eating twice as much. So a lot of you don't know this. I had stomach issues and I'm still working on healing them. He has stomach issues. The dog has stomach issues. Do you know that your animals absorb all your pain also? Okay, so let's get back on track. We are working on making changes. If you want to make changes, write these changes down. I'm ready and it's okay to change. I'm ready and it's okay to change. That's your first. Doing the affirmations. If it's you that's keeping you from changing, which it is, I'm going to just tell you right now, only you can make the changes. If somebody's at work and you don't like them, or you don't like your job, you don't like the pay, what can I do to love my job? Start loving your job and start thinking about, what would it take to have more money? What would it take to have a better job? Um, little little changes will make you feel better, because it'll open up the universe. When you keep saying you hate your job, you're going to keep getting the same type of job that you get. When you hate your relationship, or you always feel like you're the victim, you're going to keep getting the relationship, the same type, until you change yourself. And that's learning to love yourself. If your body's in pain, you got to love yourself to start healing that energy. Oh, you know what? I forgot I got to go to work. Let me see. Um, so I was supposed to be at work and I've got to go. So I'm going to let you know, to end this really quick, what will it take to get the job that I love? But start loving the job that you have, because you have a job and you should be grateful for that job. Maybe it doesn't bring in that much. Maybe your boss is mad, mean, grumpy, crummy, whatever he might be. That means you need to change your attitude and start building your confidence. So I have confidence now. Do you know that I would have never been able to speak um, and do this? I started doing this live broadcasting 5 years ago. And I used to laugh and screw up and mess up my words and get so embarrassed. I used to have problems judging myself. I had problems with people judging me. The more you love yourself and you let go of judging yourself, you won't have any issues with how other people treat you and talk to you, how they respond to something. So if somebody says I'm just killing people out here with my phony baloney information, I just tell them that I love them. because they don't understand, and it's okay. I always say we all have different perspectives of life, right? And how to make a difference, how to feel better. Some people want to pop pills, some people want to work on exercise, some people would change their diet. I've done all the above and changed my mindset. So if you have any questions, I do have an email. I'll type it in here one more time. If you want those affirmations, I can email them to you in case you guys are listening to this later. heal2change.com. And remember, start saying those affirmations. Um, Follow me because I will be doing healings on here, meditations, the affirmations and mantras. There are mantras that I have said every single day that has tripled my income, and I believe in it. And when you believe, you make things happen. So I believe in all of you that are trying to feel better. You can feel better. You will feel better. Now you have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in the system. The system to me is I used to think doctors were poisoning people. Not all doctors are poisoning you um, or me. Some doctors do care about the patient. In my day, back when I was a little girl, doctors didn't get paid that much. Doctors, it was about them giving you a pill and being better in 5 days, and you called them and you said thank you, or I'm still not feeling good. It has been disconnected, yes. It was disconnected, I think, March 31st. So, but this is better because HAPS is actually connected to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So now I only have to do one video and they're all connected. Super excited. All right, you guys, I love you and I will see you tomorrow. Remember, when you love everything, the universe will change. And I'm a big believer because I used to hate this planet. I used to hate people because they're so mean and they're so cruel to others. Now I just send them love and it's good. I'm still working on myself every day. I think that's what we're supposed to do. But I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.